Hello and welcome to another installment of KBS News. I'm Evan Penner.
And I'm Isaiah Sterling, but I'm better known as Scarlett Johansson's understudy.
We have another exciting lineup of content for you today.
As we know, Monday was an extremely stressful day for all boys staters, but for those involved in the primary elections, this was especially stressful.
We'll give you a look into the whistle-stop tour for both parties, another veteran spotlight, and a press conference with the party's winning candidates, as well as a special interview with the Heritage Foundation PAC. I'm here with some representatives from the Heritage Foundation. We're going to ask them a few questions, see what they have to say, see what they're really trying to get done in this election. All right, first up, guys, what governor candidate have you chosen to support, if any?
We have chosen to not support the Federalist governor candidate.
What? Say that again.
We have chosen to not support the Federalist governor candidate, Young, unless something extremely radical changes within the night because of some issues we've come up with. That means we are going to be helping how we can the nationalist representative, even though he has not come to us specifically asking for money. He just came informing us of what it is he wants to get done.
And what is your goal as a PAC, regardless of who you choose to support?
The main thing we've been discussing as a PAC throughout the week is we are one group bettering America. We are all for bipartisan people working together to make this place better. We would pretty much anybody that shares our ideals, our platform, those are the people who get our support.
I understand. And then lastly, how do you plan to go about supporting a candidate when and if you choose or they come to you? How do you plan to really get your support across?
Well, I think our first step is they come in, they talk to us, which in our case is why we're not backing our Federalist candidate at this moment. But as their plan comes to us and says what they would like us to do to help them, and we'll take it from there, and we'll help them as much as we can.
Understand. Well, a little bit of a different approach, as you can see from these guys, but we look forward to seeing how this develops. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Evan. As you can tell, the Heritage Foundation has some very interesting standpoints. Now, check out this clip from the press conference, revealing that each party has very similar viewpoints on gun control.
What would your party have to say about reform on the gun law?
Okay, what we need is definitely some reform.
Well, gun control is necessary.
And now back to the studio. My name is Isaac Stark. Those were some very interesting views on gun control. Now down to the convention floor.
Hello, welcome to KBS News. I'm Evan Penner here at the Federalist Convention with Head of Security, Jack Curtis is his name. He's been on the Highway Patrol, superintendent, and he is leading up security, so we're here to ask him a little bit about his job today. Can you just tell us a little bit about what your job entails, what you're doing here, how that's going for you?
Basically, the main thing we're trying to accomplish here is security detail, making sure that all the candidates stay as safe as possible. We're also trying to help set up programs to clean up the state with crime running rampant in all sectors.
Okay, so you're fulfilling two roles here, essentially Highway Patrol with major crime, all that, and then also as security detail.
Yes.
Okay, great. So playing a major role here, keeping everybody safe. Let's give a hand to Jack Curtis.
Hello, my name is Isaiah Sterling, and I'm here with Chase Barclay. So, Chase, what is your job here at Boise State?
Well, I'm hoping to soon be Attorney General.
Soon to be Attorney General. So, how do you think that your Nationalist Party convention is going?
Fantastic. Like you can tell, we're all getting hoarse. I mean, it's really a party.
Hello, my name is Isaiah Sterling, and for our Veteran Spotlight today, I'm here with Don Whitten. So, Don, how did you get into the military?
I enlisted in the military in October 1950. 1950? Right, and the first place I came to was down at Fort Riley, and I was there for about 3 days, and I swore I'd never come back again.
So that puts you in the Korean War era?
That is correct.
All right. What branch were you in?
I was in the Army, and when I was in Korea, I went to Korea in 1951. On my 19th birthday was going up towards Seoul, which was under attack. had been attacked and was just going back up that way. And it was about the loneliest day or the most depressed day of my whole life. I said, my gosh, how could my mommy let me get over here like this? And I was serious. And I wasn't the only one. There was a lot of people who felt the same way. But I went over on a ship, the Marine Adder, the first time. We had 2,000 people. Out of the 2,000 people, there were 2 men that got assigned to artillery. Everyone else went to the infantry. I happened to be one that was artillery. Real lucky.
Wow. That is great. What caused you to choose to enlist in the Army?
Well, at that time, we had the draft.
Oh, you were drafted?
No, I was not drafted. I volunteered. But we had the draft. And a good friend of mine was being drafted. And so rather than him being drafted and I was left behind, we went in as a buddy system. When we got to Camp Atterbury, Indiana, that was the last of our buddy system. I didn't see him until about 15 years later. And by that time he had been out of the service and married and had a carload of kids.
Went on to live a good life. So, what was your job during the war?
When I was in Korea the first time, I was in the artillery, I was in the service battery, and I was an ammunition truck driver and trailer. And I don't know if you're familiar with the British vehicles or not, but they had independent front wheels and the fenders. And I was pulling a trailer load of ammunition, and the roads were muddy, and I caught the front end of one of those vehicles. And it pulled it right out. And of course, the guy got out, and he's bloody this and bloody that, you know. And then after things kind of got settled down a little bit, why, we gave him a couple of bottles of whiskey, and that settled everything.
Calmed right down after that. So what rank did you rise to in the Army?
Sergeant First Class.
Sergeant First Class. Right. Any specific awards or? I
don't remember what rewards, what I got. I didn't do nothing spectacular. I had a good service, so when we came back from Korea, the first time I was an ambulance driver in Fort Ord, and I got recalled back to Korea again, and this time I was in the Korean Military Advisory Group. And in that group, I was in logistics. And then when I got out of that group, I came back to the States, and I was reassigned to the California Military District. And that also was logistics. And at that point, I began to drive for Commanding General of the California Military District. And I drove for him about 1.5 years until he retired.
So, any great words of wisdom for all of our Boy Staters out there?
Obey the traffic signs.
If you want to know why you should follow the traffic laws, visit us on YouTube at KSB State. There you'll also find all of our previous broadcasts and content. Thanks for watching. Evan out.